Hello, everyone. This is Kiki. Welcome to lesson 5 of speaking and speech. Hi. All right. Today, let's review the previous lesson, some of the things we talked about. Can you remember some of the hand gestures? We talked a lot about hands. Can you remember what we said? Where should you put your hands? Where shouldn't you put your hands? What should you be doing with your hands when you're public speaking? All right. Hopefully you answered easily that there's a certain zone right in front of your body where your hands should be acting, helping you. Something is small, something is big, but your hands shouldn't be out in the world, and they shouldn't be moving quickly, and you shouldn't point. All right. So those were some things that we talked about in the previous lesson. We also said fidgeting, moving your hands a lot, even in a small space, is not good because it's distracting and it looks like you're not comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, you're probably not confident, sadly. Okay. Hopefully you left a link to your opinion about men and women. I'm going to be asking you from time to time to post your opinion about something. One of the things that I've noticed my students had a hard time with was giving opinions in a way that kept the conversation going. Because if you lack confidence in your English skills, then you fall back on things that are easier. For example, someone says, "Hey, do you like music?" And you say, "Yeah." Right there is called a conversation killer. As you could tell, the person was trying to start a conversation with you about music, and your answer killed that idea. It just said, "I'm not interested in talking to you about music." Even though you may be interested in music, your answer shows you don't feel like talking about it right now. So instead of answering quickly or just saying, "Yeah, I like pop music." Pop music means certain things to certain people in certain countries. Pop music in Korea is not the same thing at all as pop music in America. Basically, pop music, that term just means popular music. So whatever becomes super popular in your country falls under the genre of pop music. In Korea, girl and boy bands are really popular. When I first saw this, I was I thought it was so strange. I don't mean to offend anybody. I mean, really, I don't. I just thought it was so strange because, you know, here, 15 people standing on a stage and doing the same dance and singing the same song at the same time, that shows their ability, and that's great. That's very popular here. In America, even if you have a group of people, each one of them shows their individuality. I mean, this is a really old reference. I don't know, from my generation. I don't know if you've ever even heard of the Spice Girls, but there were 5 of them, I remember. And each one of them had her own attitude, like sexy. No, there was no sexy Spice. Brainy Spice. I don't know what they all are, but each one of them had her own style. That was the point. Having 15 women doing the same thing, or 15 men doing the same thing, just means to me that that thing is easy to do. Even though it's not. I know they've got talent, but if 15 people, 25 people are standing on a stage doing the same thing, it means to me like it's not difficult. I mean, it's like, how do I explain this? I know that it is difficult. I know they've practiced a lot. right? But for example, a long time ago, I'm sure nobody knows about this, but a long time ago, there was something called like synchronized swimming. And the things that they were doing were difficult, and they were doing it at a certain time so that the person watching could see something unfold, and it was very beautiful. So to me, having a lot of people do something synchronized, which I know takes a lot of practice and perfect timing, I mean, that's pretty amazing. But seeing 25 people do the same thing on a stage that they've practiced for a long time, the I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't impress me the way that it probably should. I mean, there was this. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I should reconsider my position. That's possible as well. All right. So we talked about hand gestures. We talked about opinions. My point was opinions. Uh, I just talked to you a lot about different things that I know about, and all under the same umbrella of conversation of my opinion about pop music. My point is to get to a conversation that's authentic, gives you real feeling, shows that you have a range of information, shows that you have opinions about different things, and are trying to be, I mean, I'm not trying to be interesting, but I hope that it's interesting to you. Uh, all of those things have everything to do with how much information about yourself you're willing to give. So, we're going to talk more about conversations. We're going to talk more about how to give that opinion, how to make that recommendation, how to keep the conversation going. Um, let's just, for now, know that the opinion videos I'm asking you, they're all practice in preparation for that lesson about giving your opinion, which I will post, I promise. All right, because today actually I wanted to have a conversation about eye contact and smiling. That's going to be our conversation for today.